let's make a Renaissance outfit, shall we? I am getting ready to go to Renaissance Festival tomorrow, and I wanted to make an outfit for the occasion because I've never been to Ren Faire before, and if I'm gonna go, I'm gonna dress up. Now, originally I was going to wear Melisandre, and then looking at the forecast, I feel like it's gonna be really muggy, and I as much as I love wearing Melisandre, I just feel like it's gonna be a really, really hot outfit because there's a lot of fabric and it does not breathe. And I don't know how muddy it's gonna be. It was kind of rainy. I don't mind a little weathering at the bottom, but I don't wanna be like soaking wet and having to like carry this thing the whole entire day. So instead, I think we're going to go for more of like a hobbity vibe. You feel? I have just finished the whole entire thing, so I'm going to kind of walk step by step through it. I think that'll be better, and then I'll just share some of the Ren Faire with you. How about that? How about we try that on for size? I've got my handy dandy mannequin. I think we got to get you dressed, sister. You're a little naked. The first thing that we're going to talk about is the last thing I finished, the skirt. This skirt is a simple circle skirt. Well, that's not true. It's a half circle skirt. So if you're wondering how to make a circle skirt, my very, very first video was a circle skirt. I didn't know that at first, but eventually we got there. This is a half circle skirt, so instead of doing a fold over twice, you're gonna just fold over once. Right? It's pretty simple. It's a little bit snug. I'm going to have to put it on over my head instead of like up. So we're gonna see how that goes. So I didn't want to spend a whole lot of time making it because I had today. So it wasn't gonna be a very fancy skirt. I didn't have enough fabric. Originally I wanted it to be a full circle skirt, but I just did not have the fabric for that. So a simple half circle skirt, and this is fine. I don't think there's anything wrong. It still has it still twirls nice. For the blouse portion of this outfit, this is just a blouse that I got from Old Navy a couple years ago, and I finally get to wear it. So here's our base. For the corset top, I used Butterick 4669, and I used the A pattern. This was pretty easy to put together, if I'm going to be completely honest with you, and this should shock exactly 0 people that have watched my channel for any amount of time. I did not follow the pattern instructions. Now, I looked at the pictures briefly, but I didn't even bother reading them because it was 3 pieces. So maybe I followed the instructions. We'll never know. For the fabric, I went through my stash to specifically find this fabric right here. This is the same fabric that I used for my youngest son's Frodo costume. And I just thought it would be kind of cute if we could be like matchy. He thought it was kind of a cute idea too. So with his permission, I used the rest of his fabric. The finished result, can we just take a second? This is really cute. For this actual pattern, I used the pattern pieces. I made the biggest pattern size, which for this one is size 20. I am not a size 20. I'm not really sure what made me want to do that. So it's a little bit big in some areas, and that's fine. Because I think in my brain, I was like, well, I'm gonna be wearing something underneath it. It should be bigger. I don't know. The big thing with this is that I did not have enough fabric to make bias tape from this fabric. I have some brown bias tape that I had found. It didn't seem like it was the right size. And I don't know, something just didn't feel right. I wasn't 100% sold on using the bias tape. Knowing that this was already going to be a little bit big on me, I decided to kind of go my own way. Up through the middle section here and then all the way around, I folded it in on itself. There's no seams here, it's just folded on itself. I hope this makes sense, but I folded it against itself so that the wrong sides were up against each other now, and just kind of folded it down and pressed it the best that I could. and then I top stitched the armpit and then top stitched the bottom portion of it. For me personally, I didn't care about there being bias tape or having that difference. If I was maybe doing this so that it was inside out, maybe that would be something that I would kind of focus more on. Since this is the same on the outside as it is on the inside, I didn't want to worry about that. They did add a small piece of interfacing to the outside portion just to kind of give this a little bit more structure. I think that this would have looked fine without it. For the grommets, I want to say these are 1/4 of an inch. This is as big as I think I would go. I think any bigger, and it's almost too big. I tried to use the pattern for the markings for it, but because I folded everything in on itself, that kind of messed up the ability to do that. I can tell you with absolute sincerity, this was my least favorite part of the project. The instructions say to just cut the hole, but I don't know how big of a hole to cut, and I don't trust myself to not cut a hole that's way too big. Luckily, I have a leather making kit, so I was able to use the awl that I have to sort of start a hole, and then I just kind of dug at it until I could fit one of the grommet pieces through, and that's kind of how I approached it. And did that take a little bit longer? Maybe. I'm not really sure, because you still have to get it through. You still have to make some sort of a hole anyway, so by the time I finished, by the time I got to the 10th one, I could do it pretty quick, but those first couple ones were very, very frustrating. For the tie-up, I just found some suede strap, lace, whatever you want to call it, and it works pretty good, I think. That's my outfit. I don't want to spend too much time talking about it. Let's just go to the Ren Faire, shall we?